Hello, everyone, and welcome to Urban Echoes. I'm your host, Emma Johnson, the tech reviewer, here to dive deep into topics that shape our world. Today, we're not just looking at cityscapes, we're exploring how cities are vibrant, living beings, constantly echoing our innermost human desires. And I'm Nora Adams, the social media strategist, ready to add some punchy perspective. You know, Emma, when you think about it, a city isn't just concrete and glass. It's a massive, collective diary of human ambition, our hopes, and even our fears. It's fascinating how every corner tells a story about what we truly want.
Absolutely, Nora. The way we build and inhabit urban spaces reveals so much about us. From ancient gathering spots to modern architectural marvels, cities are fundamentally designed, whether consciously or unconsciously, to cater to deep-seated human needs. Connection, security, freedom, creativity, and even our yearning for nature. This isn't just about functionality, it's about psychology and sociology intertwined with bricks and mortar. We'll be unraveling these reflections today, looking at compelling examples that underscore this profound relationship.
It's a powerful concept. So often, we just see the buildings, the traffic, the hustle. But underneath all that, there's this incredible tapestry woven from collective human desires. We're talking about why certain spaces feel inviting, why others feel safe, or why some just spark innovation. It's a blueprint of humanity, writ large across the urban landscape. Let's jump right in and explore how our primal need for connection manifests in the very fabric of our cities. Starting with connection, it's one of our most fundamental drives. Cities have always been natural hubs for social interaction, fostering community and providing spaces for people to meet and share ideas. Think about the historic piazzas of Rome or the vibrant plazas of Mexico City. These weren't just open spaces. They were the heartbeat of daily life.
Exactly. They were the original social networks, right? Before Wi-Fi, people gathered in these physical spaces to exchange news, conduct business, or simply connect. It speaks volumes about our innate desire to belong, to be part of something larger than ourselves. Modern cities are continuing this tradition, often in innovative ways, but the core human need remains the same.
Indeed, modern urban planning increasingly integrates pedestrian zones, charming outdoor cafes, and dynamic community centers. These spaces are intentionally designed to encourage people to slow down, engage with their surroundings, and forge new bonds. The emphasis on accessibility and comfort in their design directly addresses our universal craving for shared experiences and social networks. It's all about creating environments where human interaction can naturally flourish, moving beyond just utility. And it's not just about designated social spaces. Even the simple act of walking down a bustling street, seeing other people, feeling that collective energy, it feeds into our sense of belonging. It's that underlying hum of humanity that makes a city feel alive, making us feel connected even in passing. It's almost an evolutionary response, making these urban centers feel like home. Moving from connection, our next fundamental human desire is safety and stability. This need is deeply embedded in urban design, evident in infrastructure and layout that prioritizes security. Things like well-lit streets, clear signage, and visible public services contribute significantly to residents feeling secure. It's about creating an environment where people can truly thrive without constant fear or anxiety.
It's foundational, isn't it? If people don't feel safe, nothing else really matters. Think about historical examples, walled cities, defensive structures. Modern equivalents might not be as dramatic, but they're still there. I'm thinking of Amsterdam's canal neighborhoods, for example. Their design with narrow streets and close-knit housing naturally encourages community vigilance and mutual care, fostering a strong sense of safety through collective presence.
That's a fantastic point, Nora. Urban planners today also leverage technology and smart design to reduce crime and enhance public safety. We see this in the widespread use of surveillance cameras, strategically placed emergency call stations, and various traffic calming measures. These features are direct responses to our collective desire for stable, predictable environments. They allow communities to flourish knowing that their security is a paramount consideration in how their city is built and maintained.
And it's more than just preventing crime. It's about feeling a sense of order, knowing there's a system in place. That stability translates into peace of mind, allowing people to focus on other aspects of life, like work, family, and leisure. It demonstrates that the built environment can actively contribute to our psychological well-being, making safety not just a physical state, but a deeply felt experience.
Next up, we delve into freedom and exploration. Humans inherently crave the ability to express themselves, discover new things, and experience diverse cultures. Cities, with their sheer diversity and openness, often embody this desire. They become vast canvases for expression, where vibrant neighborhoods, varied architecture, cultural venues, and public art invite endless exploration and spark profound creativity.
It's where innovation really ignites. Take New York City, for instance. Neighborhoods like Williamsburg or Harlem have evolved into incredible centers of artistic expression and cultural exchange. Their streets literally tell stories of migration, resilience, and groundbreaking innovation. The mix of old and new buildings, incredible street murals, and spontaneous music venues creates an environment where freedom of expression isn't just tolerated, it thrives.
Absolutely. Moreover, urban spaces that actively support alternative mobility options, such as extensive walking paths, dedicated cycling lanes, and efficient public transit, further amplify this sense of freedom. When people can move easily and safely throughout their city without dependence on private vehicles, they gain access to a wider array of opportunities and experiences. This enhanced mobility directly enriches their lives, fostering a deeper sense of autonomy and engagement with the urban landscape, turning the city into a truly accessible playground of possibilities.
And that adaptability is key. Cities aren't static, they're constantly evolving, just like our desires. The ability to reimagine and repurpose spaces, to allow for artistic interventions and pop-up cultural events, it's all part of this creative dialogue between people and their environment. It makes a city feel less like a rigid structure and more like a living, breathing work of art, constantly being reshaped by the hands of its inhabitants.
It might seem counterintuitive, but even amidst the concrete and steel, cities powerfully reveal our deep-seated desire to connect with nature. Urban parks, innovative green roofs, and tree-lined streets are all testaments to how people seek balance between built environments and natural elements. This isn't just about aesthetics, it's about our inherent need for the tranquility and rejuvenation that nature provides.
Think of Central Park in New York City. It's a classic example. It's this massive natural refuge right in the middle of an urban rush, offering space for relaxation, exercise, and socializing. The design perfectly integrates water features, diverse tree species, and expansive open fields, creating a vibrant microcosm of nature within one of the world's busiest cities. It's a deliberate design choice that speaks to a universal truth.
Precisely. Many modern cities are now prioritizing sustainability and green infrastructure, responding to residents' increasing demand for healthier, more livable spaces. Community gardens, extensive bike paths that weave through natural corridors, and clean energy initiatives are all reflections of a collective wish to live in harmony with the environment, even within dense urban settings. It's about creating breathable, livable cities that respect and integrate the natural world.
And it's a smart move, too. These green initiatives not only improve air quality and provide recreational opportunities, but they also boost mental health and foster a stronger sense of community. When you have shared green spaces, it naturally encourages interaction and creates a more pleasant living experience. It's about consciously bringing the outside in, making urban life more sustainable and, frankly, more enjoyable.
As we wrap up today's episode, it's clear that cities are anything but static. They are dynamic entities, constantly evolving as the people who inhabit them change and grow. By truly studying urban spaces, we gain invaluable insights into the values and desires that fundamentally shape human life. Cities unequivocally show us the enduring importance of connection, safety, freedom, creativity, and our essential bond with nature. It's a powerful lesson for urban planners and residents alike. This deep understanding should be the guiding principle for how we design future urban environments. Creating cities that genuinely reflect these core human needs can dramatically improve the quality of life for everyone and foster far stronger, more resilient communities. It's about building places where people don't just exist, but truly flourish. Exactly, Nora. It also challenges each of us to consider our role as active participants in shaping the places we call home. We're not just passive residents, we are co-creators of our urban landscapes. Urban spaces serve as constant reminders that cities are far more than mere structures. They are living, breathing expressions of who we are and what we collectively aspire to be. So, by paying close attention to these reflections, we can build cities that truly support our deepest human desires, ensuring they remain vibrant, inclusive, and inspiring places for generations to come. Thank you for joining us today on Urban Echoes for this illuminating discussion. Thank you, Nora, and thank you, listeners, for tuning in. We hope this episode has given you a fresh perspective on the cities around you. Join us next time on Urban Echoes as we continue to explore the intricate connections between human experience and the world we build. Stay.
Cities shape who we are in ways most people never notice. But what if I told you that the width of a sidewalk or the height of a building actually influences our happiness, safety, and sense of community more than almost any other factor in modern life?
That's such a fascinating perspective because urban design impacts literally billions of people. Yet we rarely think about how profoundly it shapes our daily experiences.
You know what really opened my eyes recently? Research shows that people living in neighborhoods with wider sidewalks and more trees have up to 50% more social interactions with neighbors than those in car-centric areas.
Hmm, that reminds me of how ancient Roman cities were deliberately designed around public squares to foster community connection. The same principles still work today.
Exactly, and modern urban planners are finally catching up. Studies from the University of Michigan show that even small pocket parks can reduce stress levels by up to 25% for nearby residents.
Speaking of stress reduction, I've been reading about how cities are using technology to create safer spaces. What's your take on the balance between security and community?
Well, it's fascinating actually. Take Amsterdam's Canal District. Their crime rates are 60% lower than similar urban areas, not because of surveillance, but because of something called natural supervision. The narrow streets and close-set houses create this informal neighborhood watch system.
That's exactly what Jane Jacobs talked about in her book, The Death and Life of Great American Cities. Those eyes on the street that make neighborhoods naturally safer.
And you know what's really interesting? Cities that prioritize this kind of organic community safety spend about 40% less on formal policing than cities that rely mainly on technological solutions.
So, if we design cities right, they basically take care of themselves.
Well, to some extent. But here's what's really cool. The most successful urban spaces combine traditional design wisdom with modern innovation. Like how Singapore uses AI to optimize pedestrian flow while still maintaining those human-scale neighborhoods that people naturally gravitate toward.
That's such an interesting balance between high tech and human centric design. What about creativity and cultural expression in cities?
Oh man, this is where it gets really exciting. Research from MIT shows that neighborhoods with mixed-use zoning, where residential, commercial, and cultural spaces overlap, generate 3 times more new businesses and artistic ventures than single-use areas.
Like how the Arts District in Melbourne saw a 200% increase in small business creation after they relaxed zoning laws and allowed more flexible use of space.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is how this creative energy actually boosts economic resilience. Cities with strong cultural sectors recovered 40% faster from the 2008 financial crisis than those heavily dependent on traditional industries.
That makes me wonder about the future of cities, especially with climate change becoming such a pressing issue.
That's where some of the most innovative urban design is happening right now. Copenhagen's climate resilient neighborhood plan has reduced flood damage by 80% while creating new public spaces that residents actually love using.
Hmm. And I've heard these green infrastructure projects actually save money in the long run.
Absolutely right. For every dollar invested in urban green infrastructure, cities save an average of $7 in disaster prevention and public health costs. But what's really interesting is how these projects are changing the way people interact with their cities.
Well, that's something we're seeing in places like Mexico City too, right? Where they're turning old elevated highways into linear parks.
Yes, and these projects do way more than just look pretty. Studies show that residents living near converted green spaces report a 45% increase in social connections and a 30% improvement in mental health outcomes.
Those numbers are pretty compelling evidence for rethinking how we design our cities.
And here's what really gets me excited: we're just scratching the surface. New research suggests that thoughtful urban design could reduce healthcare costs by up to 15% by promoting active lifestyles and reducing stress.
That's incredible when you think about the implications for public health and city budgets.
Looking ahead, I think we're going to see cities become even more adaptive and responsive to human needs. The data shows that flexible mixed use spaces are not just more enjoyable, they're more economically viable and environmentally sustainable too.
So, it really comes down to designing cities that work with human nature rather than against it.
That's exactly right. When we build cities that reflect our needs for connection, safety, creativity, and nature, we're not just creating better places to live, we're creating healthier, happier, more resilient communities. And that's something worth investing in.